This is another NASA shock. Space Agency in groundbreaking move towards asteroid detection to save humanity, of course, Earth protection. And this is, of course, this should have been done a long time ago. It's a type of telescopes that they're using. This is by Express UK Joel Day. NASA is set to make a groundbreaking move towards improving Earth defense, and it has a new asteroid telescope. NASA announced that it plans to build a state-of-the-art infrared telescope, and this would be able to detect asteroids on a collision course with Earth. Any asteroid, of course, not just those coming in. The new defense system could be functional within the next 10 years. That's, to me, of course, unacceptable, because of the fact that in 10 years we'll have Apophis coming at us. And the other time around, next time around 2068, it may be even closer. Also, we have a lot of asteroids that are found the last minute, others that we never see coming at us. Now, according to Thomas Zurbuchen, NASA's Associate Administrator for Science, he says yes, it'll take 10 years. Known as the Near-Earth Object Surveillance Mission, it's going to cost $500 million. $500 to $600 million to construct, along with specific calibrations and engineering logistics. The telescope is not that new of an idea to NASA and its workers, having been proposed 15 years ago. Well, if they had done it then, we'd have it by now, wouldn't we? Now, first proposed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, JPL, in Pasadena, California, such a telescope is essential for meeting a congressional requirement that NASA detect 90% of all potentially hazardous asteroids and comets of at least 140 meters, that's about 400 feet across, in diameter by the end of 2020. Well, that's not going to happen because we won't have that telescope for the next 10 years. Now, though the telescope will inevitably end up with a different name given the length of time it will take to construct, Mark Skies, who is the CEO of Planetary Science Institute in Tucson, Arizona, explains that this mission will always stay the same. He said, "There is no independent or new spacecraft or operational design here. The mission is NEOCAM. But because NASA's estimate the telescope construction to be in the next 10 years, the agency will not meet Congress's requirements, of course, by next year, 2020. But the combination of the prospect of an infrared telescope combined with a large synoptic survey telescope, it's a ground-based facility being built in Chile, will eventually ramp up Earth's asteroid defenses and turn the current goals into reality. The mission is unlikely to be abandoned or backlogged, as an infrared telescope, researchers say, is essential because of the past decades having shown that dark asteroids, that is, nearly invisible to light, do stand out in infrared and are more abundant than once thought." How nice. Joy Millish, planetary scientist at Purdue University, says, "There are a lot of really dark asteroids out there, and that pushes the need for an infrared system. The telescope could demand an increase in NASA's current $150 million annual budget for planetary defense systems. Most of the money goes to Double Asteroid Redirect Test. That's the DART mission being built by Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory. That's the one that will be involving the Didymos double asteroid system, which is a near-Earth double asteroid, but not expected to be that close to Earth that it will cause harm to us. And they will be sending a NASA spaceship in order to crash into the moonlet, Didymos B, of that system to see if it will be able to nudge it out of its trajectory, and also to test what it can be made out of. Now that is set for completion by 2021 The dart seeks to test the possibility of deflecting the path of an asteroid as opposed to destroying it. Now, it's not clear whether the US Congress appropriators will follow NASA's lead. Neither is it clear if the US Congress will approve funding for the infrared telescope. Shame on them if they don't do so. Shame on them. It's necessary, and they've already been delayed with this. Though funding is a big question in the advancement of the agency's defense systems, the mission does not mark a development step towards NASA taking an external group's proposal for adapting it for its internal work. The proposal could see Amy Mainzer, an astronomer at the University of Arizona, return. Ms. Mainzer has been crucial to the progress of infrared technologies within astronomy and led NeoCamp since it was first proposed. Some asteroid facts. First of all, we don't see all of them. There are even amateur astronomers who find them, thank goodness. Like the recent one, the interstellar Borisov that came in around the beginning of August. It was an amateur astronomer from Crimea who found it. And it's strange because in 2017 we had another one, the Huma interstellar comet coming at us. And my question is, why are these interstellar objects coming towards Earth? But anyway, the asteroid facts, some facts are these. NASA estimates a football field-sized asteroid collides with our planet once every 2,000 years or so. A car-sized asteroid hits the Earth, on average, at least once a year. Some of the bigger space rocks in the asteroid belt can be as large as 583 miles across. As you can understand, that's like a small planet. As icy comets fly around the solar system, their outer layers sublimate in the sun's heat and leave behind a glowing trail. And that's also, I guess, the sun's heat on them causes them to, of course, have a temperature differential on their surface and causes them to tumble on their axis. That's the Yarkovsky effect. That's what happened to the asteroid that was supposed to be passing far from the moon into space, but that didn't happen. It was a non-dangerous, non-hazardous asteroid, and instead it came careening into the Caribbean Ocean. That was July 25th. That shocked astronomers because they didn't expect this at all, and they came out explaining to us what the Yarkovsky effect was. That's the solar radiation especially on the small asteroids, heating the surface of the asteroid and causing it to tumble on its axis. It's as if you've struck it and it goes off its trajectory. So, Miss Mainzer said, "I'm hearing the news at the same time as everyone else. It sounds like NASA is interested in pursuing this, which I think is great. It's a problem worth solving. Over the past 15 years, with NASA's support, Mainzer's team has refined the electronics and sensors that will power the telescope. Not everyone is a fan of the telescope, and NASA's plans with Nathan Myhrvold, a billionaire technologist and former Microsoft Chief Technology Officer, claim the technology the telescope will support is skewed and not entirely accurate. Mr. Myhrvold faulted the statistics used by Mains and others to generate asteroid diameters. Among other issues faced by NASA is an advancement in debate among scientists and the Congress over what asteroid size constitutes a danger to Earth, so they can't even decide on that. How big does an asteroid have to be detrimental, causing an extinction level event on Earth? Researchers now think asteroids smaller than 140 meters, that's 400 feet across, in diameter also pose potentially serious threats to Earth, in parts because they could generate damaging tsunamis.
If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.